moving into two formerly imperfect teams, because the Eagles are perfect. It was a good transition.
That is a good transition.
One of them is still imperfect. I don't even know if I'm using that right. Minnesota at Carolina. I'm just going to get into the game. I'm just ranting or fucking rambling.
Wait, that's right. I have a question for us.
I was like,
no, wait, bro. See, I'm still getting used to. I'm getting used to my role this week.
Question.
All right, the question this week: Vikings Panthers. Should Panthers fans be worried about Bryce Young?
Yes, but not because of him. Like, you have to look what your team put around you. And here's my thing. There was like a lot of like back and forth between Bears fans and Packers fans, or not Bears fans and Panthers fans after a trade went down. Just like, I don't know, like it was just obviously petty bullshit, but like, hey man, you're really in the same boat that the Bears are in. Your O-line sucks. You got no weapons. The coaching staff is questionable. And I'm going to tell you how that works out for young QBs. Not very well. So not to, throw more fucking shade at Bryce, but the situation he's in is just not set up for success. So y'all might have fucking ruined him. Now, I'm not saying right now, but let's say they bring back Frank Reich next year. Realistically, how much can they improve the O-line? They don't have a first round pick.
See, you know what I'm going to say, though? And this is where I think I've been kind of sitting on this all week. And this is where I'm going to, I hate to even do this to him this early, but it's where it's leaning. Again, could it be redeemed where this is not the situation? Certainly. But is it looking like it right now? Not leaning towards it. So what Bryce is looking like to me right now is that I think, and again, is he going to see that same upwards turn that Tua saw? I can't say for certain like that. But I think what I'm seeing is I think his arc of his career is going to go similar to how Tua's went. Like Tua came in, thrown into the garbage dump fire and playing like pretty bad. And so everybody jumps to the narrative of like, no, he is garbage. Like, no, that he will never develop. Like, he's too small. All these things we worried about. And they're going to use that of why he can't succeed. But then if you get Bryce around a good coach and a coach that will believe in his strengths and get him a good, I said good. I sounded like a
good. Yeah, I know what you say.
Literally turned into like a New Jersey native over here. No, but like jokes aside, yeah, you got to get the man an O-line. You have got to the receiving core's also got to be upgraded. Adam Thielen's playing like old Adam Thielen, but he's not old Adam Thielen. It's because his target share is high because nobody else is getting open.
Right.
Because, and I'll give credit where it's due. Like Terrace Marshall had 9 catches this game for 56 yards. Nothing. I mean, again, the offense is lethargic.
He is playing better than he has been before, though.
No, he is. He's
Terrace Marshall.
He is absolutely. But again, we'll go back to the Miles Sanders every single week. We'll go back to it until I have to go back to it. You put money into a situation where it was so pointless. They're going to end up probably releasing him after this year or two. It's not even Miles Sanders' fault. He was signed to a terrible situation. Again, why are you spending money on running back when everything else is the way? Yeah, the Panthers are not a well-built team. Bryce is in a bad situation is the bottom line. It's kind of what I'm getting
And their
at.
defense, like with injuries, it's just not. I mean, like, not gonna lie though, they stayed in this game with the Vikings. So moving into the Vikings, that's saying more about the Vikings or more about the Panthers? I think it says more about how bad the Vikings actually are.
That's what my main point that I've written down for the Vikings is, look, if you're a Vikings fan, if anything, this should reiterate the tank is necessary. It's necessary. If you're struggling, actually fighting back against the one of the worst teams in the league, arguably, you get my point.
Yeah.
I don't even arguably worse because they've shown they can compete against teams that are better than them. But you get my point. Teams they should clearly not be struggling against, they're struggling. And like I've said too, the value behind Kirk is not going to get any higher.
No,
it's absolutely not. So you got to do it now. But it doesn't look like they're leaning towards that, and I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think we'll look back at this in a few years and be like, this was where the Vikings really fumbled the chance to turn things around. Because it looks like that's where we're headed.
I'm interested to see what they do after this year with Kirk Cousins, because we've talked about it where it's to the point where it's like, I don't really know if it's like worth it to like it puts them in a hard situation because you have like this star in Justin Jefferson who needs to be extended. And it's like, does he want to sign to a place where he doesn't know who the quarterback's going to be? Like, I don't know. And it's like the defense is just not playing how it should. So, I mean, it's kind of weak though. So I don't know. I'm just rambling. It's just like the Vikings need to blow it up.
No, and there's like we said this last week. There was not a question about it. Well, if there was no questions about it last week, I don't even know an analogy for this week, but there's negative zero questions. Not it has to be done. It has to be
Yeah.
done. I mean, there's just no question about it. And yeah, it's more than anything. I think what I wanted to say is last little point of this game is I'll give a shout out to the Panthers. They got some young scrappers on defense though.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
Derek Brown, Jeremy
Derek
Chin,
Brown is good.
Frankie
Yeah.
Louvu.
Chin.
Like
Yeah.
you got some good pieces on defense. But yeah, two teams that are on the bottom of.
Von Bell isn't bad either.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. It's like they got pieces, but in terms of both these teams where they need to be, they're far from where they need to be.